Whoops. Heads or tails, crisis or opportunity, because it's two sides of one coin. The Chinese way of things, that's the way they think, more so. Now let's look at the research by Nielsen, and he looks at a study exploring why certain hospital departments maintain better health mentally and lower sick leave despite stressful conditions. It found that work, pride and confidence supported by strong leadership, teamwork and trust were key drivers to the workplace success. Now for middle-aged men in whatever industry you're in, this is important because we can redirect it. Whatever's in the research can help us. I'm a best-selling author and I'm going to give you my takeaway after the research. Do you remember the speech by Jimmy Carter in 1979, A Crisis in Confidence? Well, the research claims it. And this speech argues that America's biggest problem at the time wasn't economic, it was a loss of confidence, purpose, and sheer direction. People felt disconnected, uncertain about their future, and overly focused on material success instead of meaning and collective goals. Now, both texts I just mentioned from the research highlight the same underlying issue at different levels, whether it be in the workplace or at a national level. That confidence and purpose are foundational. When people are low in belief in work, leadership or future, performance, health and unity begin to collapse. So let's reclaim them. How? Well, in work, build a personal work pride. By taking ownership of your contribution, you're doing a great thing for yourself. Focus on the mastery, that will give you pride and it protects against burnout. Try to strengthen your sense of purpose. Know your why, because your work matters. Yes, indeed, this comes from the research. Link daily tasks to bigger outcomes. When you're scrubbing away in the corner, know that you're scrubbing away at life outside of your 9 to 5 and that problem can be solved that's coming to mind. Purpose drives long-term resistance and resilience too. Prioritize trust in relationships, be it in work or at home, because building strong-term workplace connections are so important. You'll feel better after the 9 to 5. Support your colleagues when you can and seek support, and don't be afraid to open out and say, even if I'm a leader, sure, look, I need a hand now and then, because trust reduces stress and isolation. Try to seek an environment with good leadership. It's easy enough to say, I went to this workplace because of the great leaders, the owner and so on, and now I'm being promoted. Yes, brilliant. But maybe you need to go to another job. Maybe you're in your different department. Maybe you need to go to another job. Maybe you're in a different department. Maybe you'll be deployed. Maybe you're out on your own. So you still have to get good people around you, or at least good leadership traits. If you can't, this is a very good type of channel to go to because you get the research. You're going to get books. You're going to get good things that you can learn from. Courses, short courses, driving the car to and from work. Remember the old book on tape? Well, we're old enough to know. Try to avoid purely transactional workplaces. Leadership directly impacts well-being. So we have to balance it in some way or another. Lean on people, they're there for you. Take control if you can though, where possible, but not by denouncing others, not by pushing them out. Try to increase your autonomy in your role in some ways, but delegate in other ways. Well, let's put it this way. If you're doing it in one way and you're stressed, try and do it in another way. Try and bring people on board, utilize their skills, look through their resume, look deeper to what maybe is something they did in a summer job as a student and use that skill. Make decisions then. Don't just follow orders. People that are micromanaging are great, super, we love them. They put in the effort, but they got to make the big decisions. People will disrespect you otherwise. So control improves mental health and well-being. And speaking of which, I'd feel better if you like the video. If you appreciate it, thank you so much. You can make a comment too, or no. Well, that's grand, it's negative, but I'll understand, I'll try and improve. And then you can subscribe, maybe now, that'll do. Thank you so much. Now, develop a learning mindset, because I was speaking with a young person the last day in a company. I said, look, just because you've got all these badges and all these certificates, it doesn't matter. Why? Because you're starting off at the very bottom. It's a game of snakes and ladders. You've got to get up that ladder and you might fall back down again, but that's the competitive environment. So make sure you're continually building skills, adapting to the environment, adapting to the competition and going further. There's always a way of collaboratively learning, so you can actually get to know your peers, trust, build rapport, build that great culture and also learn, because growth reinforces confidence between yourselves and your relationships, in your thought process to try and create and innovate as well. Avoid the material success trap. We often get into that trap ourselves Don't define success only by money, big cars, big watches. It's fake. Because if we focus on meaning and contribution, having a big why, answering that for ourselves, that will truly drive us on, get us up when we need and when we fall down. Try to reconnect with your community and have shared goals. The older you get, and you will do, the more you want to connect and look back on memories of doing those things with great people. So if you can engage in teamwork and collective purpose, it's a natural thing to do. Try to move away from individual only. That doesn't mean to say you can't do things on your own. That doesn't mean to say even if you're a leader, you can't go fishing, play golf, things like that. But have a time and place for everything. Because shared goals certainly will really build motivation in the shorter term. Address your lack of confidence directly. Okay, don't be sitting on the fence. There's a thing called self-confidence, but there's also a thing called self-leadership, and recognize it. Recognize that motivation is declining, that you need these things, that little push from within yourself. Take proactive steps to rebuild it. You need it. It's like a bandage. You need to keep refreshing the bandage, and it will grow back eventually, because confidence is core driver of action. So keep pushing yourself forward. Try to adopt a solution-oriented mindset and focus on what can be improved. Look at the unrealistic things and leave them on the outside, because you'll only have more frustration if you try to concentrate on the wrong things, because action restores a sense of control. My final takeaway from looking at the research is, well, the real danger isn't stress, it's losing belief in what you're doing and why you did it for the first place and how you're going to keep on doing it. These two works that I've just shared, the research, is firstly, whether in a hospital or look in a country, in a company even, in an organization, it depends always on confidence, purpose and connection. Without them, even capable people will lose motivation.
Thanks for watching. Please like this video. If you subscribe, comment to say that you have, and we'll look after you.